Mike Scarborough, future Louisiana gubernatorial candidate, now that it's pretty evident that they get to hire the football coach. So I would not be surprised to see Mike throw his hat in the ring. He's as good as anybody else in the race. Mike, from the outside looking in, this looks like an absolute mess. Is it an absolute mess?
It absolutely is. And look, it doesn't do the way Louisiana is viewed to the outside world when your governor appears with Pat McAfee, and McAfee's doing his water boy Adam Sandler Cajun accent throughout the entire thing, which was absolutely mocking. And what it's done to coaches at LSU, whether you thought Scott Woodward deserved, shouldn't have been the guy to make the next hire. He didn't deserve to be humiliated that way by the governor. And look, was there some things that went on behind the scenes over the years that maybe we're not privy to, political grudges and so forth? You've got a Republican. Woodward is cut his teeth as a disciple of James Carville. So there's some of that. I mean, look, we know how the Board of Supervisors is appointed by each governor, and you just we've known for quite some time, for a year, that at some point Landry was going to get his university president in. Of course, Dr. Tate went to Rutgers, and he took LSU's associate AD Kelly Zinn with him, and now she's the AD at Rutgers. And it was just kind of felt like it was a matter of time for Scott Woodward and Brian Kelly getting that third loss, and the way it came down hastened things. Something that I thought that maybe there was a 10% chance that BK could get cut loose sometime this year, but probably next year. And it's I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
Been there.
It's been a long day, man.
Yeah, it's been a long week, I'm sure, for you. I mean, it's been constant since Saturday night, right? I mean, it's been probably one thing after the other that entire time.
Last night Kim Mulkey didn't even come out for her post game because the news broke. The news broke right in the middle of her exhibition game, and she was so distraught that she sent her assistant coach out. By the way, they had a run-in because the governor was made a point about the LSU women's team not being out there not standing for the national anthem.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that.
Not full well knowing that the LSU women's basketball team was never on the floor when the national anthem is sung.
Look, I can tell you the Baylor team wasn't. They come out after. It's all about the entrance. Like that's just their run out. That's just what they do. It's what Kim's always done. So yeah, that it does look bad, and it is bad. So not knowing who the president's going to be, not knowing who the next AD is going to be, do you think that limits their candidate pool, or do you think that money talks and that stuff doesn't matter to some of the coaches?
Money talks, but you need the dust to settle. There was we got word about 9-10 o'clock last night. There would be an 8 a.m. press conference this morning. Doors open at 7. So, of course, they're real bright and early. Verge Alsbury, the interim athletic director, was there along with the 2 board of supervisors, including the chair. Ben Bordelon, who's a former LSU offensive lineman and the CEO of Bollinger Shipyards, which is a huge, huge company. And, of course, he's got 2 sons that are offensive linemen on this LSU team, is going to be a part of the search, as well as a member of Our Lady of the Lake Hospital, one of the executives there. So they're going to be the ones that are conducting the coaching search. But next week you will have a vote for the new university president. And we all think it's going to be Rouse from McNeese State. And then there's already candidates floating around to be the next athletics director. Certainly Verge Alsbury will be one of them, but they're looking at your guy at Georgia. They're looking at Southeastern Louisiana's athletic director. I think they should look at Stephanie Rimp, who left LSU for Nevada years ago. She's the one that actually is the one who hired Jay Johnson and went and found him. But it's going to be interesting to see. So you've got a lot of things that need to happen. I don't know what the order ideally needs to be. And but I think in the end, money talks, and it's still a great job. But they need to steady the ship, and maybe the governor needs to go quiet for a good while.
I don't know if that's possible based on what we've seen from him. I think he's trying to figure out how he can get more TV time based on what we've seen the last few days. But yeah, he's certainly added an interesting element to this whole thing. And what would you say Scott Woodward will best be remembered for as LSU? And do you think that he's a guy who clearly is an LSU guy who's going to be back and still a part of the family and still widely accepted and all of that? It's just like, hey, we needed a change in leadership kind of a thing.
Well, look, he gets credit for Kim Mulkey, even though you guys well know the timing was right to poach her.
Yep.
And how much of a fight there was or wasn't from the Baylor side. And Jay Johnson went and located by Stephanie Rimp, but he was the AD, and so he gets credit for her. Look, everybody in this state was couldn't believe that he went and got Brian Kelly, the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. Okay. Now, national people could have said, we don't see it being a fit. And look, you got a whole lot of media out there across the country that don't like Brian Kelly. That's just a fact. I've often wondered, is it just a fact because he's the Notre Dame head coach? But Marcus Freeman dispels that rumor, that thought, because everybody likes Marcus Freeman. He is cold and can be a bit gruff, but he was great to us. He was great for us in the media. We had access that we never had before. But did we think that he was going to be go 4 years without making the playoffs? No, we didn't. And it's we can have a whole discussion about whether he played too much golf and he left too much to his staff to do the real work. I think there's some truth to all of that. But now LSU is where they're at, and whether it's Lane Kiffin or whoever that's going to be next in line, there's going to be a lot of money spent. It's $53 million unless it gets negotiated down for Brian Kelly's contract. You got another $8 million going out to buy out Scott Woodward's year contract that runs through 29. You got a men's basketball coach that needs to make the NCAA tournament this year. What are you going to do with him? He's got some years left. So there's a whole lot of money that's going to be going out the door in the LSU athletic department.
If you were on the search committee, where would your focus be?
I've said for months when we've just been on our shows talking about if something were to happen, Eli Drinkwitz has been my guy for quite a while. But certainly, and I heard y'all talking about it while I was waiting for my spot. My first call is to Dan Lanning and let him tell you no. And it's the same things that he said on the Rich Eisen show is the same things that Lane Kiffin's going to say. They're all going to say those type of things. I know there's the Phil Knight Nike money. I get it. But is he able to track enough athletes from the Southeast to break through and finally win a national championship at Oregon? Or does he get to the point where he thinks the same way that Brian Kelly did? He needs to get to the Southeast or a school like LSU to get that national championship. It's very early. He's young. He hadn't been there long. So we'll see. I think there's a whole. If you polled the LSU fan base, Lane Kiffin would probably be number one. Sumrall would be I think your next tier down. But what was the final score of that game last night?
Yeah.
But I think Drinkwitz, Brom at Louisville, but of course, like Clark Lee, that's his alma mater. To me, I would take Drinkwitz over Lane Kiffin, but I know most LSU fans would take the opposite.
As a reporter, would you take Lane Kiffin over Drinkwitz? Just strictly reporting, just for the craziness of it all, for selling paper purposes.
Yeah, I'd take Lane Kiffin in that case.
Yeah, of course.
But Ben, it's kind of like, you get a little spoiled, man. It's like, who's going to give you the most access? I mean, we got to see entire scrimmages under Brian Kelly, something we'd never seen before. DiNardo did a little bit of that, but most football coaches at LSU have been operating under the same rules and periods and access that Nick Saban put in place, 25 years ago. But Brian Kelly gave us a lot extra, but that doesn't matter. Certainly Lane Kiffin would be entertaining. The press conferences are legendary. But look, man, Eli Drinkwitz has got some personality. I mean, some of my fellow LSU media people call him a weirdo. I think he's funny and got a dry sense of humor, quirky. Mike Leach was quirky. I don't mind any of that. It makes the beat a lot fun, a lot of fun.
Well, Mike, good luck in covering the search. It's already gotten weird, and just for historical purpose, for people who are wondering, why the governor, going back to Huey P. Long, is so ingrained in LSU football. It's really and it's more than any other state, because look, here in Texas, they have a bunch of schools that they have to make happy, so they can't insert themselves in all of them. And in Florida, there's a bunch of schools they got to make happy. Everywhere else that surrounds them, that's either a conference or a neighboring state or a similar football passion, they have multiple schools. Even Tennessee has Tennessee and Vanderbilt, so you can't really jump into that fray. But in LSU, in spite of there's a bunch of colleges that play football, there's only one that plays power conference football, and that's LSU. And that's always been the case and will likely always be the case from now until forever. So it makes it more acceptable for the governor to jump into these things, even though at no point should they ever do that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Louisiana Lafayette graduate, grew up in the Acadiana parishes. And so, but look, it's you've had different governors that graduated from different schools in the state of Louisiana, but LSU is a different bird, and they need to be seen in the suites in Tiger Stadium on game day. They need to act like they follow it, even if they don't. You've got 102,000 people, and then in the stadium for big games, and you've got another 40 or 50,000 just mingle in the parking lot on game days. It becomes a huge city. That's your voters. So it's a big deal, but Ben, I think Jeff Landry poked that bear, and despite this being a red state, if there's not a whole lot of polling done in this state right now, but I think if they did a poll of even his voters right now, his approval rating would be, I don't know, somewhere between scurvy and a root canal.
Mike Scarborough. Mike, good luck covering the story. You had did the commit you was going to commit, did they go to LSU?
Yes, Lola Lampley, the 4-star, 5-star, depending on where you look, wing, just committed to Kim Mulkey in the LSU basketball program. So that happened right when I was going live with you.
All right. Hope she didn't like shooting threes.
Yeah.
Kim doesn't like it. She would have been great in a bygone era without threes.
Well, she's got a lot of 3-point shooters right now, so they're going to be guard driven this year.
Yeah. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com with us here on 365 Sports. Mike, happy Halloween, buddy.
All right, buddy. Y'all too. Happy Halloween.